Welcome to About the Winelands. In this show, we will be chatting to leaders, influencers, wine producers, restaurants, and other role players. Tune in every week for our latest episode. You will find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to About the Winelands. Today, I'm speaking to Barbara Mackenzie. Barbara is the operations manager at Haskell Vineyards in Stellenbosch. Welcome to About the Winelands, Barbara.
Hi, nice talking to you, Will.
So, Barbara, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you become involved in the wine industry?
So I'm Austrian, as you probably can hear from my dialect, and I grew up in the most southern part of Austria, which is called the Südsteirische Weinstraße. Weinstraße meaning wine route, and a wine. Yeah, basically it's the wine route in the south of the province of Styria. So that is where I grew up, and I've spent all my life in the hospitality industry. I studied tourism in Innsbruck, and I think this is an industry that is connected to a lifestyle that is in the long run connected to wine. So this is my connection to wine, and I started to work for Haskell Vineyards in 2011. I was looking at the guest accommodation at the farm and the other houses that within the Haskell Group. And I was also the personal assistant to Mr. Haskell, the owner. And in 2017, I took over as the operations manager.
Okay, that's awesome. So being an operation manager, it sounds like you do everything.
Well, I think sometimes I'm a bit of a control freak. I do like to know a lot about, what's going on the farm. I do trust that I have an amazing team. But yes, in the end, I think my fingers are in each and every department, which is something that I love. And especially with, when you have a team that I have that you can trust and work well with, it's challenging, but it's a good challenge.
Awesome. So, Barbara, the short history of, I mean, it's the second time I'm interviewing somebody from Haskell.
Yes.
I've interviewed Rudolph before, but a lot of
Yes.
people are listening to the first time maybe. So if you can just share again a little bit of the history of Haskell Vineyards and how the farm got its name, and that's always interesting for people to hear.
Yes. So if you haven't heard from about Haskell Vineyards before, Mr. Preston Haskell IV, he bought Haskell Vineyards in 2002. He's an American business magnate who fell in love with South Africa, and when he saw the farm on auction, he purchased it. And the original farm was called Dombeya, referring to the many wild pear trees that we have on the property. And it was, it was a citrus farm, which later also included a small coffee shop and a barn where the local ladies produced hand-woven blankets and jerseys. So 2002, he bought the farm. In 2004, Riani Stredham became our first winemaker. And I think it is thanks to her passion and dedication that actually Haskell wines are recognized locally and internationally as wines with exceptionally high standard. I think also interesting is in the history of Haskell is that it was the first South African wine farm that won the Tri-Nations Challenge in Sydney back in 2009 for best, I think it was best Shiraz, best red wine, and best wine of the show with our pillars, the Haskell Pillars 2007, which we if I'm not mistaken, we still have 1 or 2 bottles in the vintage cellar.
Oh, amazing. So tell us a little bit more about the tri-nations of wine.
So it's 3 nations compete with each other. It's New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa. And yes, and we won that in 2009.
Oh, awesome. That's an awesome achievement.
Mm.
So Haskell is more than just wine on the estate. There's lots of other things. So when a guest come to the estate now, what can they experience?
So obviously I had to think about this question because I'm coming here every day, and so I tried to remember, the first few visits to the farm, and I would like to think, for those who haven't been here or who don't know us, okay, the basic is we are a boutique winery at the end of a very long road, and its location. So, it has always been and will be a farm for the individual. I think it's, for the family, for the couple, for the wine connoisseur, for the lifestyle seeker. It's, the location, so the narrow roads that lead to the farm is not for big buses, for, big tourist buses. So you still get the feel that you visit a hidden gem in the winelands. And we, apart from, so everyone would experience the long drive, but what I do hope what we achieve here is that every guest that come here experiences the high quality in customer service delivery, in food, in wine, in nature, in everything that you come here and you sort of are treated like a family member and not as a number. This is what I like to achieve with my team. A visit to Haskell should be a fun experience. It's good vibes, laughter, and nothing else. You're not rushing up the hill just to buy a cheap wine here. I guess the pandemic should have taught us many lessons, but definitely one of them is to slow down and to appreciate the moment, and to spend time in a way that makes us happy. And I think our winery is offering exactly that. If you would ask me, if you would come to Haskell, and I would have the pleasure to take you on a tour, which I really, I sometimes do. I start with a walk through the vineyards. We created during lockdown, we created 3 different, very simple hiking trails, so you can experience the farm, in nature. And so I would walk you up to the very top of the farm. There is a dam, so we would sit down next to the dam and maybe enjoy a glass of wine and talk about wine industry or life, or just enjoy the panorama.
I can't wait to come, Barbara. When is this?
Yes, okay. And so we then probably would, walk down, passing by the guest houses. I would show you our guest houses and, talk you through the history of these old buildings. I would then, take you down to walk you down to the restaurant. We would pass by a very small but beautiful picnic area that we offer, where we offer picnics in summer, and we also rent out, the space for private functions such as weddings and birthday parties. And as we approach the restaurant, you would find on your right-hand side, you would find the tasting room, and on the left-hand side is the well-known Longtable restaurant, where we started to offer recently tele products, breakfasts, lunches, as well as, dinner, offering dinners in the evenings, Fridays and Saturdays in the summer season. We also have a nice large veranda and offer some, a very small but quite nice playground for children. Yeah,
Wow,
that would be Haskell.
that's awesome. I mean, the Longtable is very well known. I think the name
Yes.
also sticks with people, the Longtable. So,
Yes.
any history about Longtable? How did that start, and what can you guys do
So
there?
So Longtable really was established and run many years by a chef called Connie Els. And, I believe she did a great job on putting the restaurant on the map of the winelands of Stellenbosch. So it's absolutely a credit to her. And after years when her contract ended, we closed the restaurant almost for a year for some necessary upgrades. So we did huge renovations in 2017, and it was December 17 when we took over the operations of Longtable, and our head chef or chef of the kitchen is Cornell Mini. She and her team are focused on high standard of food, of ingredients. We support our local vegetable farmers such as Genesis just down the road, or we buy all our fish from Abelobi, which is a startup company that gets their fish directly from the fishermen, so no cold chain is in between. And I think one realizes it's all about quality and over quantity. And since we started, our menu is, we call it a small plates concept, which means that all our plates come in the same size, whether it is a main, a dessert, or a starter. And we change it, according to season. And I believe, combined with our award-winning wines, that there is no better way of spending a couple of hours exceptionally well.
Awesome. So, talking about spending hours well, you can also come and stay there and spend a weekend or even a week on the estate. So, how does your
Yes.
accommodation work?
So I think it was in 2009, 2010, we started to offer guest accommodation here. Right in the center of the farm, you only hear, birds would wake you up in the morning, or a tractor that is just passing by. So it is right in the middle of nature, where we have two forms, options of or facilities of guest accommodation. The one is the residence, luxurious farm-style country house with 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and roughly 150 square meters. It has a beautiful, fully equipped farm-style kitchen, and there's an outside braai facility for our guests. And some bring their bikes with, some play golf in the area, some just come for weddings and use their houses. And we have noticed that over the last couple of years, our guests, locally and from international guests, that they come and stay longer and longer and just enjoy the peace and the freedom here.
Wow.
And so that is the big house. The smaller house is the cottage. It is a loft style, cottage with probably 60 square meters, but also has, king size bed, bathroom, and a fully equipped kitchenette. And so it's very, it's not many guests. It's just 2 houses. We can accommodate at, at one time we can only, have 8 guests on the farm, which makes it very individual and, super private.
Yeah, that sounds really wonderful.
Mm.
you also mentioned weddings and events. Obviously, Stellenbosch and that whole area is a perfect setting for a wedding. What other events do you offer?
So yes, weddings and birthday functions, year-end functions, graduation parties. So we, because of our size and our dynamic in the team, I believe we proudly can say that we try to plan every single event individually with our customers. So because of COVID, obviously there are standard procedures now in place, but in general, we would like the customer to know that we care and that we understand that it is, an event that is not only special but also costly, and we would like to, to sit down with our guests and, give him the best of our service because he deserves it, or she does, or they deserve it, and so. Well, if it's our restaurant is can accommodate 75 people. So again, I think you can see now that it's the private function, it's the individual guest that we can accommodate the best. It's it's not huge. It's not huge parties, and which is and the same and at the same time we do 1 or 2 weddings a month, so we try to keep that not doing more than that, just for us also to to be happy and excited about the upcoming event. Sometimes we talk about in the team and we say it's almost like Christmas for us. We experience the joy and the love and the fun, and we are part of it, and that is just really great, and that is what drives us daily. We enjoy it.
Fantastic. Barbara, another important stuff. Tell us a bit about the wines you're making, and how that works.
Yes, so obviously nothing, would, from what I have talked now, nothing would be alive if it wouldn't be for the wines that we produce. I think this is our, main, main goal, to produce high quality wines and obviously to sell them. So you mentioned earlier you had an interview with Rudolph. So Rudolph Steenkamp is, he took over in 2018 as winemaker and farm manager. And he's very passionate about, I'm trying to say it in his words, making the wine in the vineyard and adding as little as possible in the cellar to achieve our high quality of the Haskell wines that we are known for. And it's also thanks to him that we are in our 2nd year of certified organic farming. So in the future, we look forward to achieve higher, healthier crops, higher yields, and even better qualities. So that's from the farming side. We have 2 brands. It's the Dombeya range and the Haskell range. The Dombeya is our lifestyle range with 2 whites, 1 Bordeaux blend and 1 Shiraz. We produce roughly 6,000 to 8,000 bottles per grape, and it's really good quality for a really good price. But it differs from the Haskell range, which is our flagship range, in that we, in a way that for Haskell, we use only the best grapes. We use the best barrels, we use the best dry goods, and we only make roughly 2,000 bottles per grape, which is 1 white, 2 blends, and 1 Shiraz. On the Haskell side, we have the, our most famous wine is the Haskell Anvil. It's a Chardonnay that is, the wines are 32 years old, and it's award-winning. We get, many times we won 5-star for John Platter 5-star awards, which is, we are very proud of.
Oh, that's fantastic. Barbara, where are your wines sold? What is the...
Yeah, so we sell our wines, I would say roughly 60% of these wines are sold locally. It's, between, we sell a lot on the farm, we sell online, and also to well-known restaurants and wine shops. You don't find us on a wine shelf, in the sort of cheap wine section. It's just for the simple reason that, we don't make enough wine. So it's the quality over the quantity. And, for those who recognize that style and appreciate this quality, it's just that person that simply loves the wine. And that is for the local market. The export is, we've lost a bit over the past years, on market share, but slowly but surely we are gaining it back bit by bit. Our biggest partners are in Europe and in Singapore. Here, wine tourism obviously plays, a huge role, which is, we will find out, what the future holds. But countries like Germany, Belgium, Switzerland are our, leading partners when it comes to wine sales overseas. And obviously these are our customers that come here to the farm and experience the farm and then buy it in their own when they're back home.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting this year to see how that pans out.
Yes.
You also have a wine club. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Our wine club is the Platinum Wine Club that we have created years ago. And the interesting thing, it's like with every other wine club. Obviously, you purchase wine as a member, you get a discount on the wine sales. But I think what we add to this benefit is that we would like our members to experience the farm life and the farm style. So we invite every member to come here and stay to have a free weekend once a year and a free lunch at Longtable restaurant, just to be connected to us and experience the Haskell not only in the bottle, but also, on the farm.
That's wonderful. Where do I join?
Yeah, online.
It's all online, right?
I sent you the application.
So the coronavirus, we talked a little bit about this here. It's been a difficult year, and everybody has to rethink their business models. And have you guys made any changes? Are there new changes coming on the farm? Even on the restaurant, or what's happening?
So yeah, the virus. It's tricky, huh? So in my personal opinion, the virus, or, let's say the idea of the life-threatening virus, will stay with us for many years to come. It's nothing that is over by end of this year. And for us, I think it would be too soon to say that we have adapted 100%. It's still early days, and I guess, we take it slow. We watch how, the rest of the world, what the rest of the world is doing. And we try to adapt in our very unique way, which, we only have so and so much resources. So what we have noticed is that during lockdown that we received a huge support from our local fans on our online sales. So our online sales went skyrocketing, and it was amazing to see. So we definitely, in this regard, we are busy, or we have changed our online sale portal. We have made it easier and more user-friendly. So we definitely look into this option as well. On the restaurant side, because we are not mass tourism or a huge restaurant, we always have been quite small. So to come out to our farm with our huge veranda, it's, it's almost a given that you have enough space. We have our procedures in place. I think I can say you're safe to come here and have a meal here or taste the wines here, because it's very much out in nature.
So about, talking about that, I think, I mean, it's obvious that we are going to have local tourism more than international tourism. Are you doing things? I see there's some of the states that are changing their menus and putting other stuff on and things like that to maybe, have more of trying to attract local people. Are you doing anything in that regard?
So we are changing over now, very soon to a summer menu. What we have done is we understand that, it's very difficult times for South Africans. I mean, the economy is not one of the easiest one at the moment. So we automatically we have come down with our prices, which is, difficult because of our size. We are small. We buy our products at a higher price, but we feel that we need to offer we need to offer that to our guests, and rather have less guests, but good experience, and to keep the restaurant alive, to keep our staff, keep them employed, and just come over the next season. I mean, it's not about making huge amounts of money, really.
Yeah, because your overheads are not coming down, right? Your overheads are staying
exactly,
even maybe going up.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we are in a good way. So we are very positive. We have got a few weddings coming up, and already, functions, year-end functions booked. Weekends are getting full with the nice weather coming. It's summer approaching, and so yeah, we are positive.
Okay, and in terms of, we were talking about the online sales, and I think that's the new buzzword in the wine industry called
Yes.
direct to consumer. That's the thing, right? So
Yes.
how do you handle that? Do you make any changes on that, or is it just something that you do on your? What do you do there?
Look, so we, when we upgraded our website, you were able to buy on, our wines online, and it only during lockdown we realized that, from ourselves, really. I mean, you sit at home, and I did it myself. I was looking for, wine farms and, wine specials. So I realized that their online sales will definitely go up and change. And like I said before, we had we realized that we have had a huge support from local people. Even Stellenbosch people would buy online, and so we definitely work on making online sales easier. But I think what I try to explain to my team is that even in this regard, customer service is so important. You buy wine online yesterday. I want to hear from you, or I want to go back to you like today. It's not something that it's a very simple approach, is that we want to communicate with our clients. We want to respond immediately, and even if it's a short email to say it will take a few days until your wine is delivered. But I think the combination of online sale and still keeping the communication with the customer is definitely a win-win situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the key for online sales, because I mean, South Africans are not used to online sales in general. or online buying online. And, you know, the big,
Hmm.
big issue is trust. You will pay for something and then you don't hear anything. You wonder if you're ever going to
Exactly.
get your product. And
Exactly.
also, people,
Yeah.
they buy wine, they want to drink it. And sometimes people
Yes.
are unrealistic in the expectation. You know, you can't get wine maybe shipped on a certain day, and there's all kinds of rules. And so you're going to wait. Maybe if you're sitting, say, in Port Shepstone, to take an example, it's going to take you 7 days maybe to get your wine. So you're right to communicate with those people and saying, you know,
Yes.
it's coming. It's and just give
Yes.
a path to till it gets to their door. And then, of course, you've got
Yes.
to make sure that the courier actually delivers as well. So I think that was a big
Yes.
learning curve, I suppose, for all wineries. Do you
Yeah.
find that the courier companies and guys that are doing deliveries and stuff like that have also become better through this whole experience?
Look, I think the first lockdown was, you know, a huge surprise for, I mean, for us, you know, as a wine farm, we didn't expect the, you know, the amount of sales, and also for delivery companies. I mean, you know, we would apologize to customers for wines not being delivered, even so the wines already left the farm, because the delivering companies, you know, had also a huge backlog. I I think they, you know, they have, you know, upped the game. They are better now. But you know, again, coming back to the virus, I really think we should have learned a few, you know, a few life lessons. And one is, we are all humans. We all make mistakes, and we all can do better tomorrow. So if you have to wait for your wine a bit longer, or if it's the wrong wine, we also had that experience. It's something that, you know, I apologize, and we try to do it better tomorrow. And it's the same with logistic companies. It's human errors, and I'm happy, you know, for that. That, you know, we still have our jobs, and you know, we are employed, and not the technology is taking over our industry.
Well, we're all working hard to save the industry from a
Yes,
catastrophe, right? Because if I
ex-
mean, I don't even want to go into the figures that's been quoted, but I think it's important that everybody just works together, and like you say, it's fantastic. And also, you know what? The other thing is, Barbara, it was fantastic to see how South African wine is appreciated overseas. How many people actually said online and stuff that they would buy South African wine to support the industry that are not even South Africans. That was amazing. And I think the industry underestimated how well South African wine is actually done. They've learned a big
yes,
lesson there.
yeah, absolutely.
Don't
I
take the
think that's
market for
great.
granted as well.
Mm, mm,
So, talking about
absolutely.
lessons, what is the most important thing you learned from your wine journey?
So I would say, firstly, is that I still have to learn a lot, and that there are so many passionate people in this industry. It's really, it's an honor for me to work with so many you know, professionals. And I think one important thing that I have learned is that the transition from a guilty conscience to pure happiness is the fastest that I have ever seen in this industry. You know, like, you feel guilty that you have spent such a lot of money for a bottle of wine, and then within the first sip, you see a big smile appearing, and pure happiness enters the body. So I think that is amazing, and
I
I will
just love
always
that.
be
Yeah,
grateful for that.
that's wonderful. So, on that wonderful note, can you give us? I ask everybody to give us their favorite or their own wine quote.
Oh, yes, I have one that's a very easy and short one. In vino veritas.
In the wine, there's truth.
Yes.
Barbara, thank you so much for spending the time. If people want to get hold of you or want to get hold of Haskell, how do they get hold of you guys?
Yeah, so all our numbers and names on our website. So everything through Haskell Vineyards. We are here Monday to Friday. I'm sometimes, you know, here weekends and assisting in the restaurant, but just on www.haskellvineyards.com.
Barbara, thank you. It's been such a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for spending the time
Yes.
with us. I think our listeners will find this very interesting. I thank you.
Yes, thank you, Will. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting our show. If you would like to get more exposure for your business, please have a look at our sponsorship options. Thanks again for supporting About the Winelands. Please follow us on YouTube and on our social media channels. All details and links are in the description.